Okay. Is this actually working this time? I streamed Kazuha's entire quest and you couldn't hear me because my mic was on mute because I thought the mute button was the mic on button and I feel so stupid. You didn't miss anything, it's not like I'm saying anything intelligent. Anyway, what's the plan today? I don't actually have a plan. Oh, I need the Ascension book things, that's why I'm here. The live thing is over my map, that's why I completely forgot what I'm doing. I'm trying to level up Zhongli. I finally got him. He was the first character I ever wanted to pull, and I started playing this game just after his banner, so I just missed him, so I'm so happy now. Yeah, I'm feeling ranty, but I'm not good at speaking unscripted, so this is probably like a really bad idea, but I don't have the energy to script anything at the moment. I'm still recovering. What is it? Is it August, September? Is it still August? Hang on. Yeah, it's still August, and this whole medication thing happened. It started. Did it start in February? I genuinely can't remember. But you know, at the beginning of the year, this started, and the whole medication thing where I had to go off my pain medication to start anti-anxiety meds, but then why am I using animo on? Oh, it's working. Yeah, I can't multitask, I'm sorry. What was I talking about? Crap. Oh, what was I saying? About medication. Oh, see, this is why I can't yeah. Oh God, what was I saying? Can I start the conversation again? I'm so sorry if I'm just repeating myself, I'm so sorry, but, yeah, what am I saying? Yes, had to go off my, pain medication to start my anxiety, depression, OCD meds, which couldn't be taken with the pain meds that I was currently on. But because I mean, it's a good idea because I did have a bad reaction, but I had to go off the pain medication to go on the anxiety medication and then go back on a different pain medication. And it was decided that I would be off pain medication for 3 weeks. And that was incredibly daunting and I was terrified. And months went by with no pain medication. Which was extremely... I was stuck in... Like, at this point, I have had severe muscle wastage because I could not get out of bed with the amount of pain that I was in for those months that I was supposed to be on pain medication. So now I've been on new pain medication for a bit. I'm still having to recover from that longer than anticipated period. If I'd have known it would have been months, I never would have agreed to it. You know, but because I was assured it would only be 3 weeks, then the doctor just didn't want to get back in touch with me. Anyway, that's not the rant I was going on about, but my point is that I am lacking in energy to do the oh my god, retrospective videos, the 01 things. I don't have the energy to do that anymore. So, I mean, I will eventually. I just not, currently. So I just wanted to try this, but it's proving to be a really bad idea because I can't multitask and I'm not good at talking unprompted because then I immediately forget what I was talking about mid-sentence. I cannot be a Twitch streamer, my goodness. What should we do now? Should we try and unlock some Sumu things? I don't want to do any quests or anything because I think the key to having my voice, if my voice is even coming on, is to have my game muted. For me, I don't know if it's muted for like you, but yeah. I mean, look, it's showing. Maybe I should test it. Maybe I should be testing it, but it's showing that my voice is going. So clearly, my voice is going. I'll be so upset if it's not, but then you won't know that I'm upset, so it's fine. Where shall we go? Up here. I don't want to accidentally stumble into a world quest that I can't hear. If it's a world quest, there's no dialogue, is there? Anyway, the more I get into this game, I don't like. I'm not comfortable enough to interact with any fandom, like, actively. And I don't like commenting on other people's posts unless they're like friends and stuff and I agree with them, because I feel like it's polite to not start a discourse with people, right? And that's why it bothers me so much when other people do. Like, if I see somebody enjoying Naruto, I will go to my friend who equally dislikes him and be like, oh my god, why do people like him so much? But I'm not gonna go on the post of the person who likes him and talk about all the reasons why I don't. You know, make your own post talking about why you don't like a certain character, but don't involve people who do like the character. You know what I mean? So that's why it bothers me so much when I'm online and I see, for example, there's this one. I'm not going a good way, am I? There's this one Twitter user on Twitter, obviously the Twitter user is on Twitter, who is a huge fan of Baiju and tweets a lot about him, and she's like, whenever I'm feeling the lack of Baiju content, I go over to their Twitter. I don't engage or anything, but I like to, read what they have to say, and it's really nice and really fun. But the amount of people who will then talk about how much they dislike Baiju on this Baiju fans post and tweets, and it's like, by all means, make your own post about why you dislike a character, but why on earth would you go to a person who's talking about why they love this character so much and go, yeah, well, he abuses Chi-Chi, though, so, as if it's canon? Like, thing is that, right, that, because I've also seen tweets about, oh, I'd better not see anyone liking Dottore after, that's not how you pronounce his name, but, I better not find anyone who likes Harbingers because of how horrible they are. It's like, you can like characters who are morally questionable. I mean, again, to use 01 as an example, I really like Guy. I really like the arc. There's nothing wrong with liking characters who are bad. I think it bothers me a bit when people try to justify their actions, but again, I'm not going to go to a person who's doing it to say, oh my god, how dare you, but you can like a character who's doing bad things and still understand that what they're doing is bad, you know what I mean? Oh my god. Okay, no, not right now. Where was I? You interrupted me! I was defending the Fatui and you interrupted me. Anyway. Yeah, but why would you go to a person... That's not what I was saying, I've done that already. Yeah, so I'd see somebody online talking about how much they love Baiju, which I do also, and then people go, oh my god, but he, abuses Chi-Chi though, which is not a canonical thing. And if that's how you choose to interpret things, then that's fine, but it's not a canonical thing that he abuses Chi-Chi. Like, why would you go to that conclusion? There's nothing wrong with wanting to explore that concept as a story. But when you go to people who are lamenting over the lack of Baiju content and then be like, oh yeah, good, because he's a piece of shit, why would you say that to a person who likes the person? Why would you not make your own post about it at the very least? You know, and stop, like, using your own personal headcanons as if it is actual canon, because it isn't. And even if it was, people would still be allowed to reject that concept and enjoy their own thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that people aren't allowed their own headcanons. I'm not saying people aren't allowed to reject canon and explore characters giving their own twist on things. Purely what bothers me is when people have their own headcanon, their own interpretation that this character is bad, and then they go to people who like the character and berate them for liking the character because you've decided that the character isn't a nice person. Like, it bothers me to no end. But also, the thing that's been getting to me recently is, why do I seem to, like, almost always be on the wrong side of fanon and character interpretations? And, like, I mean, for example, Naruto, again. I feel like the general consensus is that he is supposed to be this, you know, perfect... Well, he's supposed to be a saint, isn't he? He's supposed to be perfect, he's supposed to be lovely and compassionate. And the amount of people I see online who talk about how compassionate he is, and it's like, where? I don't... Please point out to me... Obviously, I don't say this to people, because people are allowed to enjoy characters without people who don't like the characters going to them and saying, I disagree. But, like, show me where he's being compassionate. I don't understand. I really don't. Like, he constantly goes after this traumatized, brainwashed AI multiple times. He's like, he clearly doesn't want to fight at first, but in the end he starts celebrating having killed these hacked human gear, and he talks with them as if they have any say in what they're doing. The way he interacts with, like, Metsubo Jinnai, even after learning, like, I'd understand at first, but once you've learned that these people actually are hacked and they can't do anything about it, why on earth would you continue treating them like you are? I mean, I've complained enough about Naruto on this channel. I don't need to do it more, but I'm prepared to accept that maybe it's true that the majority of people have a hard time sympathizing with people who aren't human. I mean, that's not a viewpoint that I myself understand, but I don't understand why, but I understand that it is a thing. But then you get to Genshin Impact as well, and like Baiju, for example, I feel like the majority of fans, and maybe this is just my interpretation, but I feel like the majority of fans see him as an absolute piece of shit, and I don't understand why. I don't understand why my favourite characters always seem to be the most misunderstood ones. I feel like a lot of it is just people not being willing to kind of look into the deeper side of things and just take things as they are. I would love to do an entire thing about Baiju, actually. I would absolutely love to. But it's like, I feel like people... I really shouldn't be rushing Sumeru. I feel like people just... They see, oh, when he hugs Chi-Chi and says he loves her most, it doesn't work as well. They don't say it doesn't work at all, but it has diminished results. It doesn't work as well. So people then flock to Baiju fans and say, oh my god, yeah, but he doesn't love Chi-Chi though. Like, why does it say that? Why are you not prepared to... Why do you always have to take everything at face value? Like, that doesn't mean that he doesn't love her. It means that he doesn't love her the most. And there's so many ways that can be interpreted. Maybe there's someone else he loves more. Maybe he just doesn't know how to... Because, I mean, he's unwell, and the fact that he's trying to pursue immortality makes me feel like it's probably terminal, you know, it's going to kill him at some point. So why on earth would he want to form relationships with people? I'm not saying that you can't, but that's one way to interpret it, is that maybe he has a hard time forming connections with people because he's so unwell. Maybe he feels a little bit dodgy about forming such a close bond with somebody who is immortal herself and will forget him by the time he dies. Like, there's a lot of uneasiness that could factor into it. And I know now it sounds like I'm justifying the thing. I'm just saying that why do we always have to take things at face value and just read a line and then go, oh, that means he's a piece of shit? And even if that is how you interpret it, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with interpreting that as him, you know, just using Chi-Chi and not caring about her and everything. But why would you then go to people who like him and start spouting that off as if that's the only way to interpret that line, and that your interpretation is the correct one? I don't understand why people have to go off like that, and it just, it bothers me to no end. And I also don't understand why it always seems to be my favourite characters who get that treatment. Zhongli as well, I think, is a character who suffers from terrible mischaracterization. Like, he's not the god of war, he's the god of martial arts and contracts and mora and everything. And like, I've read so much about him and about how... Because, I mean, I'm sorry, but I never viewed him as scary. Like, I don't understand how people can be scared of Zhongli. Again, people are perfectly entitled to their character interpretations, but I don't understand it. And then I've read so much about how he suffered a lot from mistranslation. And I don't know where I'm going with it. I'm just saying that why is it always, like, my favourite characters who get that kind of treatment, who suffer from mischaracterization and mistranslation and everything. Kaya and Diluc as well. And again, I'm saying this to myself in my own space, which I feel I am perfectly entitled to do. I will never go to someone who prefers Kaya over Diluc and tell them they're wrong, because that's stupid. But it bothers me so much the way that Kaya speaks to Diluc after what happened, and it bothers me so much why it seems to be that Diluc is more at fault, when why would you tell him that? At that moment, Kaya, why on earth? What? Because the thing is, he was a child. He was a little baby child who was just dropped off by his dad to be a spy. That's not his fault. You know, that's not Kaya's fault. And also, he's a little baby child. I understand him not knowing how to say that, and then in the end maybe thinking, well, actually need to tell anybody because it's working out fine, and I have no intention of being a spy, so why would I jeopardise it? And I can even understand him thinking, oh crap, Dad's dead, I can't partake in this mourning. No! I want the chest. I can't comfort D-Luke or mourn with D-Luke while living a lie. I have to tell him, or I can forgive him for like being a bit kind of happy that now Crepus never has to find out, because that would absolutely kill Kaya. You know what I mean? I can forgive like so many things that happened that day. But I don't understand why it seems like so many fanon interpretations is that D-Luke was completely in the wrong for his reaction when, like, yeah, trying to kill Kaya is certainly not the best thing he could have done, but he had just turned 18. It was his 18th birthday. And he had to mercy kill his dad. And then his brother was like, oh yeah, I was sent here as a spy, actually. Like, I feel like we should forgive him for being a bit upset about that. And also, I will admit that I don't remember it very well, but also, surely, I don't know, did they know at the time who sent the thing that killed Crepus, or like fatally wounded him? Because I'm sure Dottore didn't come along at that exact moment and be like, oh yeah, no, that's me. So if that's the case, then surely D-Luke had every right to think, oh, maybe Kaya sent him. Like, I don't know, and I'm not going to pretend that I remember it fully, but my point is that I don't even know what my point is anymore. I think my point is that why does it always seem like I'm on the wrong side of everything? I don't know, but in the end it doesn't really matter. I don't get it. But again, I'm not about to go to like a Kaya fans page and be like, no, you're wrong and I'm right and how very dare you, because I'm sure Kaya fans, or people who like prefer Kaya to D-Luke, also feel like, why on earth are people defending D-Luke's actions? Like, I understand that for the majority of time, there's no correct way. I mean, there's exactly one character interpretation where I'm like, no, I'm right and you're wrong. I would never say this to people, but in my head it's like, no, that's wrong. But in every other case, I feel like it's down to interpretation, and that's fine. And it's fine in your own space to like, say so. I don't know, I don't understand why people have to go to people who like people and tell them why they're wrong to like that person, or like rejoice in their suffering. Like, we've known about Baiju for so long, we just want him to be playable. It's so mean of people to be like, oh yeah, good, haha, I hope it never happens. Like how people who really wanted Signora to be playable, and then had people kind of mocking them for the fact that she died, when, like, I don't know, people are upset that bad things happen to their favourite characters. Can you not let them be upset without just mocking their favourite character? I don't understand why people feel the need to do that. Anyway, I have completely lost my train of thought. I think I want... part of me wants someone, like anyone, to agree with me about Kaya and D-Luke, I think. But I would never, like, want to put out a public post and say so, because again, I don't want to upset the people who prefer Kaya, you know what I mean? And I think it's it is just a bit rude to do that, I don't know, but at the same time, I kind of do just want someone to assure me that I'm not the weird one here for thinking that Kaya is the one that's more in the wrong here. Hang on, I've completely lost my train of thought now. Where are you? There you are. Just give me a second! Oh. Oh, it's gonna climb you. Eee. I don't know if my game actually has sound on the stream. I have no idea. As I hope my voice is coming through because I've ranted so much and I'll be so upset. Oh, you. Hello. I'm so happy to start collecting these things again. I really am. And to be doing like Shrine of Things. Oh, what are you? What is that? Oh, that looks beautiful. Let's go over there next. You're a thing that I can jump to, right? Aren't you? Are you? What? Surely. Okay, I'll climb you then, I suppose. Yeah, my interpretation of Kaya and Diluc is that Diluc had just turned 18, it was his 18th birthday, and he had to mercy kill his dad. I feel like he should be forgiven for not reacting perfectly well. And also, I don't blame Kaya either for how do I get up here? I don't blame Kaya for... I mean, I certainly don't blame Kaya for not saying anything before. Oh, was I trying to get up here with a mushroom? Oh my god, that's embarrassing. Yeah, Oh, there is a thing! Oh my god, why can I not get there? Thank you! My goodness! There was no point because I'm right here, but still. Yeah, I certainly don't blame Kaya for having never said anything about him being a spy from Canria before. Where was I gonna go? Where's that thing? You know, because he was a little baby child. I don't blame him. I wouldn't have blamed him if he never said anything. I've completely lost where I'm going. There was a thing, wasn't there? What am I doing? There was like a little blue thing that was kind of... Where was it? I'm so confused. Okay, onwards, I guess. Yes, bloody Kaya and Diluc, my god. Oh. I have no idea. I have no clue why I'm collecting these things, but I like to collect things as I pass because you never know when a commission's gonna ask for them or something. Yeah, okay, so I don't blame either of them for the way they reacted in the moment. I think, you know, I don't know what Kaya was thinking, but I like to think that he was thinking something. You know? There was a reason why he decided to say so right then, and I'm not going to think too much about it. I trust that he himself felt like that was the right time to tell Diluc. That's fine, I can accept that. But also, I feel like Diluc is perfectly... It's understandable why he reacted the way he did, because he had just turned 18 and he had just had to mercy kill his own dad, and now his brother is saying he's a spy from Canria. Like, why would he react any better? I feel like Diluc is a reasonable person, right? I feel like if Kaya had told him in like a better scenario, that maybe Diluc would have been like, oh, I don't blame you, you were just a child. I can't get that right now. I don't know how. Is there like a thing to jump on? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, maybe he would have reacted better had he been told at a better time. But it was terrible timing, and I don't expect him to be thinking like that right now. Maybe if they'd have actually been able to have... And again, I'm not blaming Kaya for telling him when he did, but what I'm saying is that maybe if Kaya had told him at a different time, they could have sat down and had a conversation about it, and everything would have been fine. You know, I don't think Diluc... Or maybe I'm wrong. I don't personally think that Diluc would have just abandoned Kaya in a better situation. It just so happens that was a really horrible time to tell him. Of course he didn't react well. Anyway, I've rambled about that bit enough at this point. What bothers me is the way that Kaya talks to Diluc afterwards. Not right afterwards, but like in the game, knowing now what I know about their falling out and stuff. I don't know, I just don't understand why he'd be so sarcastic to him and just downright mean at some point. I feel like Diluc has more of a reason to, at least at the time, had more of a reason to be pissed off at Kaya. And I know that there's like the whole thing, I might not understand it fully or remember it fully, but there was a whole thing where Diluc left and that meant for some reason that Kaya was disinherited. I don't remember. I don't know. Fair enough if you want to be pissed off at Diluc about that. It's fine. But why would you tell him at that point? And I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I don't know. How do I get this? Oh, I'll come back to it, it's fine. Where am I actually trying to go? There was a chest here somewhere. No, let me heal. I don't trust myself. Does anything I've said make any sense at all? Or should I just go back to bed? Oh no, I'm tired. I've just gotten a dog. I've just got my dog, Fua. And she's being trained up as an assistant dog and she's doing so well, but it's so tiring. But which is fine because then she helps me afterwards, so I can afford to be a bit more fatigued than usual. She's asleep at my feet right now. She's absolutely precious. Defeat the Fatui, okay? I'll defeat the Fatui. And Eremites. Yeah, why are you lot interacting? What's going on there? Excuse me. Like, maybe I should do a script. I don't know. I want to do a scripted video about Diluc and Kaya and Baiju and Chi-Chi as well. Not in the same way as 01, because in that instance I really go into this is victim blaming, how very dare he, Aruto as a character. I don't want to get into that kind of territory with these characters because, with, in horror interpretations, it disturbs me personally on a personal level because I keep thinking, this is pure victim blaming, and despite what I have just said about character interpretations, sometimes character interpretations does say a lot about the person having the interpretations, and I feel like it's perfectly valid to think, oh, if you genuinely think this way about a certain character, then I don't think I want to interact with you all that much. And by that I mean, there's nothing wrong with liking a character who is bad. But what I am saying is, like with 01, for example, if you were to read, if you're blaming Horribee for being abused, basically, that, to me, says stuff about the person that... Because I see a lot of myself in Horribee, and so when people are saying, oh my god, this particular behaviour that Horribee does is so evil, and then I'm thinking, but I do that as well, and I've experienced that as well, so does that mean you think I'm bad? At that point, I feel like it's perfectly valid to be a bit uncomfortable about that. But that's not my feelings about Genshin. So I don't know if... Like, I want to do a scripted video because I want to be able to fully get my point across. Because I'm not doing that now. But I don't feel confident to do it. Does that make sense? But when I'm talking unscripted like this, I keep repeating myself, and then I feel like, I keep repeating myself to try and get more clarity, and then I think, no, I can't keep saying this. I can't keep repeating myself. But throughout this entire stream, every other line has been like, been starting over again about sodding Kai and Diluc. And that's not interesting to listen to. I need a drink after all that. Trying to think of other examples. None are coming to mind at the moment. Sometimes I do just feel like, is there something up with me? Like, because is the fact that I seem to favour characters that I think the majority of the fandom don't. I keep feeling like, is there something wrong with me? Surely, like, am I in the wrong there? Is that a giant ruin guard? It's not, but that looks creepy. What is that? What are you? Doesn't it look like a giant... I think that looks like it should be alive. Oh, it must have been. I mean, there's even a thing that is... What on earth were you? Surely we're going to be getting a story about this thing. Oh. Oh, she says as she gets closer to it. It's not a ruin guard, is it? It's, what are they called? The ones that fly up and then just don't come down, and then you're just stuck there waiting for it to come down because you didn't bring a catalyst character. You didn't bring a bow character, so you can't reach. What else did I want to talk about? Did I want to talk about anything else? I don't think I did. I think I just wanted to vent, and I haven't done a very good job of it. Because I don't want to be a hypocrite, and I don't want to upset people. I don't want to sit here saying like, oh, I hate when people bash characters, now let me bash these characters. But I'm not going to people who prefer these characters and saying you're wrong and here's why. And I'm certainly not saying that my interpretations are the correct ones. I feel a bit odd sometimes that I seem to have so many unpopular opinions. I don't even know where I'm going at this point. I'm just making it up as I go along. Oh, hello. Are you up? You alright? You awake now? Oh, bless you. She is so sweet because obviously I can't take her for walks every day. My dad very kindly does that. So she'll be... I'm talking about the dog, sorry. So she'll be out. Oh my god, she was out for so long yesterday. And my dad taking her for like a proper walk. I can nip her out into the garden if she needs the loo, but you know. Are you getting all confused because I'm not talking to anybody? I'm sorry, sweetie. Yeah, and then when he brings her back, she'll just... She will leap. She practically leapt at me from the doorway yesterday. She's just the absolute sweetest. Oh, okay. What, do you want some fuss? Where's my charger? I think my phone did the charging thing. Where are you? There you are. Her full name, her original name was Lola. I wanted to name her Fua. Tried it, she didn't seem to want to respond to Fua. But from Lola, she seemed to adapt to Lolly. Well, so her full name was Fua Lollipop. Come here! Come here, Lolly! Yay! Good girl! She has a mild ear infection at the moment. Bless her. But she's only 1.5. And yet she is already so far in training and stuff. She was when I got it. She'll just sit and let me faff with her ears, bless her. She is so well behaved. I'm so proud. Oh, bless her. Hello. Come look at your teethies. You had plaque on one of your teeth. Come look at your teethies. Well done. Good girl. Well done! Clever girl! Oh, well done. On a treat. What shall I give you? Shall I give you the calm me down ones, or do you want the stick ones? What do you want? I'm gonna have to get you one of the chews later. What do you want? Which one? You want this one? One of these? Yeah? Yeah, I thought you would. Okay, Lily? Leave it. Not said what I want you to do yet. Watch me. Lily, watch me. Surely enough. Good girl! Well done! Clever girl! Oh, paw? Yay, well done! Oh, she's such a good girl. Oh, it won't be long till they get you in training vest, will it? You look so smart. Okay. Oh, see, I am such a bad streamer. Paying attention to my dog first. Lolly! Wherever in this world I roam. Oh, your poor ears. Bless you. Hopefully that'll be treated soon. She takes medication so well as well. She had deworming and defleeing stuff. Poor good girl. And she just ate it. I wasn't expecting that at all. I thought I'd have to hide it or something. Watch me. Watch me. Good girl. See, that's to when we're out, if she does get distracted. Because, I mean, they shouldn't, but also they're dogs. They're not robots. They're allowed to... They're going to have the moments. Excuse me. Excuse me. Am I being too slow? I apologise. Lolly, watch me. Good girl. So if she does get distracted, I can, you know, call her back, and she does that extremely well. Don't you, Lollipop? Lolly? Lolly, watch me! Good girl! I taught her the phrase "watch me" in the car while waiting for my dad to get work trousers, and she picked it up so quickly. I'm so proud. Watch me! Good girl! Well done! The one command that I'm struggling to teach her is to go to other people. She does not want to go to other people. When my dad goes to... Okay, I'm being too slow, I apologise. Watch me. Watch me. Lolly. Watch me. Good girl! Well done! Clever girl! All gone. Our dog before now, Toby, we taught him all gone. So he knows, like, that there's no more treats. So I'm trying to teach her that as well. Yeah, she won't go to other people. When my dad comes to take her for a walk in the morning, because she's trained to sit at the top of the stairs or the bottom of the stairs, let you go up or down first, and then come after you, so she don't like trip you or anything. She does the same with doorways as well. But the problem is that when my dad does it, she'll sit on the top of the stairs, and then he'll go, "Come on, Lolly," and then she'll just run back into my bedroom. So, my God, I have to, like, put everything away when she's coming back, because she gets so excited to see me, bless her. You've got such a soft little tongue, haven't you? She's a Labradoodle. She's a second generation Labradoodle. I don't know if that's the correct term, but, like, both parents were Labradoodles and their parents were Labradors and Poodles. So she's... yeah. She's more Poodle than Lab, I think, from the look of things. But then she's got Labrador ears. And it's so cute. She's so precious. It won't be soon. It won't be soon. It won't be long until she gets to actually, like, come places with me. I took her to Pets at Home to get fitted for a harness, and she did so well. Her only problem is she gets too excited around new people. So I'm trying to kind of... I don't want to train that out of her. I don't want to train dog behaviour out of her, but also she can't get excited every time we see new people when she's working, you know. So I'm trying to make it so that new people aren't that exciting anymore. Her previous owner did so well with her, training wise, that I wouldn't be at the point that I'm at now if her previous owner hadn't have done so well with her. But yeah, so what am I saying? Oh yeah, her previous owner taught her to sit every time. No, every time they'd go past people, because they wouldn't like go past a lot of people. So it kind of made sense. But for me, I kind of have to. I can't have her sitting down every time every time she sees a person, because, well, she's going to be an assistant dog. So like, we can't be going to say Meadowhall and then have her sitting down every time she sees somebody, because then we never get anywhere. So instead, I need her to just not get overly excited. The thing about Labradoodles is apparently they are very good service dogs, but it's really hard to keep their attention. So that's something we've got to work on. But she does do so well, and when I take her to, well, I've taken her to visit my grandma sometimes, and she will just sit next to me the whole time. She's perfectly allowed to go about and stuff, but she'll, like, maybe go for a wander, and then she'll just come back and sit next to me. So I'm glad that she doesn't mind doing that, because, you know, I wouldn't want a service dog that didn't... They're called assistance dogs in the UK. I wouldn't want an assistance dog who didn't like my company, you know what I mean? I really want to get back into 01 videos. It's the film. The film just sucked the joy out of me. But I'm slowly getting that back now. And also, you know, I've had no energy to do stuff. Because those bloody doctors, I know, right, Lollipop? They're so mean, aren't they? Oh, and I'm still having problems. It's August and I'm still having problems because the sertraline makes me sick. So I need to take cyclozine. But some pharmacists say, oh yeah, we can give you cyclozine, and then some say they can't, but the doctor won't give me a prescription for them. So it's like, every time I run out, it's like, am I going to be able to get sertraline this time, or am I just going to have to be sick? And I don't know why they make me sick, because they make me sick immediately. Like, I swallow them, no, shit, yeah, okay, that's my fault. Sorry, Lolly. What was I saying? Yeah, they make me sick immediately, so it can't be that I'm allergic to something in them, surely, because I don't know. So, but they want to, like, they haven't had a chance to break down yet, because it's an immediate reaction. I swallow it, I am immediately sick. So I don't know what it is that's causing it, but I don't want to go through it again. But having this medication has been an absolute lifesaver for me, so I don't want to go off it. Like, I'm prepared to deal. I don't know, it can get depressing sometimes when it's like it felt at the time like, I don't know, the universe is telling me I'm not supposed to be on anxiety medication. I'm supposed to just suffer. But I'm trying to get past that feeling, because it's stupid. The universe isn't telling me anything. Okay, so I need artifacts for Zhongli, because I mean, look at him right now. That is horrible. But like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to build a character on stream even though no one's here, because I would just get like stage fright because my builds are not great, but they work for me, so you know, that's fine. And I'm glad that attribute reference is a thing. Maybe for now I should just... For now I'm not going to worry about what I'm using, and I'm just going to use the best at this current time. Need a high HP. I don't want to level up artifacts that I don't need. And it's not like I'm not going to use him right now. I don't want to leave him there because I feel bad. I don't know. Should I just go and do some more millilith things? Should I do that? I don't think I have much resin. Okay. But I have like... Should I use a fragile resin? I don't know if I should use a fragile resin. I don't know. I'll get more. It's fine. I want things. Okay, we don't need to be doing you anymore. Or should I be ascending him first? I don't know what to do. What do you have to do to do that? Oh, I hate that. I'm not doing that on stream.
But where are those who share the memory?
No, that's way too much work. I don't want to keep farming for core lapis. I can never find them. I wonder if I can get a friend to come with me later. Artifacts it is. Let's do artifacts. Let's craft condensed resin first, though, so I have to fight less. Oh, what time is it? Don't worry, Lily, I wasn't asking you. I don't expect you to know. It's half 8. Why am I awake? It's 8:30, so it's an hour and a half until I have to take my cyclazine. So we can do an hour and a half of farming. You alright with that, lollipop? Okay with that? Yeah. Good girl. Oh, she is the absolute best. Oh yeah, I should really bring Ayato back to life as well. I'm gonna need you. Do not let me go into the thing with Colette. Do not let me forget to change people. if my voice thing is even working. I'm gonna be so upset if it's not working. Because I've raved about you, Lollipop. I want people to hear. What are you doing? Lolly! I know. I don't know how, like, bathing labradoodles works. Because I'm getting so many mixed things like, right, I grew up with cats, absolutely surrounded by cats. We had a stray cat problem on the estate that kind of turned into a wild cat problem because, like, stray cats would give birth outside, and then those cats would live outside and give birth outside, and we just had this entire, like, multi-generation cat family that were all born outside and they were feral, you know. But sometimes things would happen to them. They'd get hit by a car or attacked by a dog or just get cat flu or something, and at that point we'd take them in and look after them and try and rehabilitate them. And then it was this kind of then a thing where like we wouldn't, because they'd be too old at that point usually to kind of get the feral out of them, but they'd still be socialised and everything, but they wouldn't be like a regular house cat. So it's not like we couldn't, rehome them at this point. They'd be like not well enough to survive outside. And like, I don't like when people let their cats outside, but also these cats were born outside, so that I feel like there's a difference there. But we'd rehabilitate them, then at this point we'd kind of keep them inside the house because we couldn't rehome them. They were too feral to be rehomed, but too domesticated to then put them back outside. My point is that I grew up like this, so like bottle feeding kittens and rescuing cats from underneath people's decks, and that's I was doing that for as long as I can remember. Like, I was like a little baby child doing that kind of stuff, and I'm an adult now, and I've never once gone out with the intention of buying a cat because I'm always I'm rescuing cats, so I'm confident in my ability to, like, communicate with cats the best that you can and to understand cats and everything. I'm quite good at knowing when something's wrong and knowing what to do about it, and that's just what I'm used to. But I'm quite confident in my ability to be able to take in a cat, know what's wrong, and know what to do about it or where to go for more information. And I'm quite confident in my ability to read something about cats and think, oh, that's wrong. And I'm more confident about rabbits as well than I am dogs, because I've not had that much experience with rabbits, but also I've had a bit of experience with rabbits and rats as well. So I'm confident in a lot of animals, but dogs are not one of them. Like, I can read an article about cat behaviour and think, oh, that's not all that correct. But I can't do that with dogs. So, like, if I'm reading stuff about cats or rats or rabbits and they're conflicting, I'm confident in my ability to know what is best for that one particular animal. But with dogs, it's like, I've only ever had one dog, and that's it. And he was like a family pet, whereas, Furfur is mine. And so when I read one source that says you should bathe labradoodles every few weeks, and then another article page thing that says you should avoid bathing dogs as much as you can and only bathe them when they're actively dirty because of oils or something, and then I'll get another source saying, when you get conflicting sources about dogs, I don't know which one is correct, and I am not confident in my ability to make a judgment like I would be with other animals. So like, I don't know which source is the correct one. Because on the one hand, it makes sense to me. Hang on, let me, where's my fan? I need to cool down my, phone. I think I've lost my fan. No, there it is. It makes sense that you'd have to bathe Labradoodles more because they have long, tight fur, and I suppose that can trap more dirt. But also the oil thing also makes sense because that's the same for a lot of other animals, and that's why you shouldn't. Is it hamsters you shouldn't bathe? You should give them like dust baths or something instead. I don't know. I've never had pets that you need to like dust bath, but like I think some birds you have to do that because putting them in water destroys oils and stuff and things like that. I think that's like kind of similar to why you shouldn't like touch fish too much. I don't know. I've never had fish, but I don't know. I don't know if I should be bathing her that much or if I shouldn't be. I genuinely don't know what I'm supposed to do in that regard. Like I've watched videos about Labradoodles, I've read books about Labradoodles. I need to make like a page of all this important information because my problem is that like I said, I grew up with cats. I have had much hands-on experience with rabbits and rats, so it's stuff that I don't have too much of a problem remembering because I've done it a lot. But with dogs, when I'm like learning, I can't just retain information easily. So I really want to make myself like a cheat sheet, like to figure out a good answer of how often I should bathe her, and then just make a kind of a schedule, like a cheat sheet or something. I don't know. I need to get a book to get somebody to write, because I mean I can't, but get somebody to write her commands, because I have made already mistakes with because my previous dog learned stay, but Lollipop has learned wait. So the amount of times at first I would automatically go tell her to stay when it's not stay, is it? It's wait. So yeah, when I go to train her more assistance dog things, I am going to need to do a chi-chi and get a book and write out the specific words and what they're supposed to do, otherwise I will forget. Maybe that's another reason I like Baiju so much, because I sympathise with Chi-Chi easily because I have memory problems and Baiju seems to be so good about it, so like, I can understand from that point of view. Like him seeming to keep hold of her pen or stuff. Like if I had a book that was basically my memory, I would want somebody else to keep a hold of it, because otherwise I will put it down and forget and lose it. So you know what I mean? And I have been saying, do you know what I mean, way too much. But yeah, you know, that's something that I kind of understand, the whole memory problem thing, and he seems to... I appreciate whenever people take my memory problems seriously, because it's hard to convey. No, I need to go and heal. Or do I? Has she got... No, I need to heal. It's difficult to convey, because when you try to explain memory problems to people who don't have them, a lot of people will then tend to say, oh yeah, I walk into a room and forget what I'm doing there, and it's like, no, that's not what it is. That's not how it is. So I always feel warm about anyone in media who takes people's memory problems seriously. Like, I always feel really heartened when people take mine seriously. It means absolute world to me, so I suppose, you know, that's a huge reason as to why I favour Baiju. I have candles on at the moment, like, it's... I've never cared. I was born with anosmia. I've never been able to smell, and I've never cared before. But right now, like, I'm not sad that I can't smell the candles, but I really want to be able to smell the candles. Like, I wish I could, but I'm not sad that I can't, because it's not like something I've lost or anything. Sometimes I will just, like, try to smell things, though, but it never works. What are you? You are... Wild Orchid. Nope, nothing. They're Yankee candles. Which was a thing, wasn't it? You could always tell when there's been a COVID spike because Yankee candles would get reviews about how their candles don't smell anymore. I might be a little bit obsessed with candles right now. I have 6 Yankee candles. Actually, I have more than that. I have 6 small Japanese-inspired Yankee candles. And then I have 2 candles from Tesco and 1 candle from another hardware shop thing. Then I have a gigantic Yankee candle next to me that... It's on my bed and it's not lit because it's too heavy to go on the shelves. It was like genuinely pulling the shelves down. That's how big and heavy it was. And then I have a candle from, I think it was Avon, called Yummy Mummy. And I don't know why. But I'm owning that now. Will I fight better if I'm not talking? Maybe. Am I going to stop talking? Absolutely not. I can't afford Battle Pass this month because dog. Oh, if you can, 2 can just keep fighting each other, that's wonderful. Yeah, she was kind of like, she wasn't, impulse is not the right word, because we were planning this for a long time. But it was anticipated that I'd be getting my assistant's dog, at around about January. But then I am so grateful that my friends, I set up a GoFundMe because I was falling about all over the place and it was starting to get, like, my condition was starting to get dangerous for me. So I was getting desperate and I set up a GoFundMe, and I am so grateful to my friends who donated and who shared it. I'm so grateful to the people in my dad's work who shared it and donated to it, and it's all the people who, because I was getting so close to just giving up and saying, look, this is never going to happen, I don't care anymore, I'm done. So the people who kept me going and kept saying, no, you are going to get the help that you need, and it's stupid that you're not right now, and don't give up, basically. I'm so grateful to everyone in my life, and but yeah, because of the GoFundMe and everything, I was able to do it a lot sooner, and she's just perfect. And you know, I never would have gotten an opportunity like this again if we'd have waited. Because she is just the perfect dog. She is just the perfect little assistance dog in training. And I'm so immensely grateful. I really hope my microphone is recording right now. Now I'm getting all sappy and emotional. I don't know how long I've been recording for. How long have I been recording for? Does it tell me? Oh, yeah, an hour. An hour! It doesn't feel like an hour. My God, I hope. I really hope I can, this is working. I really do. I wish I could check. I wish I had, like, another device to watch Twitch on so that I could watch myself and make sure I'm working. I don't know. I should have been recording from a different source as well, just in case. I hope these are actually good artifacts for Zhongli. A friend advised me, because I want him primarily for his shield, because he will ideally be replacing Sayu. Ah! I don't want to fight with Geo Hyperstasis yet, but I know I'm going to have to. Oh, Zhongli has to have the hardest things to look for and fight. It better be worth it. I know it's gonna be worth it. I'm such a bad fighter, so a shield would be wonderful. And then we just never fight a Rift Hound ever. Thing is, if Baiju does ever become playable, because he's like the second character I think I ever wanted to pull, but he's not pullable. But if he ever becomes playable, when would I use him? Wrong way. Because, I mean, this is my mate, but when Zhongli replaces Sayu, then this will be like the main team that I'm comfortable with. Who would he... When would I play him? Like, he'd have to replace somebody. Maybe I'd, like, primarily use him in Spiral Abyss. I don't know. Should I try Spiral Abyss on stream, or am I just going to get embarrassed? No, big sigh. I always thought... See, that's, again, why I'm not good with dog body language right now. Obviously, I'm learning, because it would be irresponsible of me not to. But I always thought that a dog sighing meant that they were unhappy. Meant that they were bored, but then I read that apparently it actually means that they're content. And I hope that's the case. I do need to do more... Maybe that's something I could video, I don't know. If anyone would find it interesting. Because a lot of... Because to give an example of whereabouts we are right now, she has had like puppy training and basic obedience training, and she's had some training that was not under the guise of assistance dog training, but happens to coincide. So like a huge part of the Alice's trainers that I'm going to be working with, a huge part of what they like to teach is doorway manners, which she knows. She can already do a lot of like the first bit of training that they do. So that's where we're at, but she can't do anything specific to my needs yet. So she can do basic assistance dog things. Like very, very basic things, but she can't get personal yet. Does that make sense? And I've seen a lot of service dog videos from people who seem to know what they're doing. And I'm certainly not starting from scratch, but this is a huge learning process for me, so I don't know if that side of things would be interesting, or if that would just be misconstrued as like not knowing what I'm doing. I don't know, but I don't know. I like watching videos from people who are learning. I like learning alongside people rather than having somebody teach me, if that makes sense. So, I don't know, I'd think about it. I think it could be interesting, maybe, and to, you know, show the process of what we're going to be doing. I think it would be nice. Excuse me, are you kicking me? Kick me? Oh, bless, she just turned around in her sleep and she kicked me. How very dare you. Bless you. She let me do her tabs today, like a good girl. I'm going to take you out to Poolsbrook again on Sunday. You like it there? We'll go and face off to the geese again. I keep her on a lead, don't worry, she doesn't actually get close to the birds. I would hate for something to happen to the birds. Although they're geese and swans, so if anything's going to happen to anyone, it's going to be us, because geese and swans are evil. Oh, lolly! Oh, have you got an itch? Can I help? There you go. Alright, last one. And then we see if the artifacts are any good. I'm not good at seeing an artifact and going, oh yes, that's good. I'm going to have to do some research. Oh, jeez, dude. I'm saying a lab thing. I've only ever had a Labrador before. Drake's head? Is it? He was very big. He was very big for a Labrador. But he used to, like, paw at his nose when she's doing that. What does that mean? Does it just mean that she's irritated? What's up, Lollipop? It's never not amusing that when the vet or insurance company say, "Hi, I'm calling about Fura Fura Lollipop." Oh, she's biting her paw. Has she got an itch? I don't know what that means. Lolly? Because I don't want to stop her if that's okay to do, but it looks very violent. Sweetheart, what are you doing?
Every course of action has its risks. Be careful.
Because I know cats bite the claws to sharpen them. But do dogs do that? I feel so helpless sometimes. And like I said, I am learning. And I have people in my life who are good with dogs. I'm not doing it completely from scratch. Let me look up if this means something. Honey. Hi, baby. In most cases, this is normal behaviour. Dogs bite their paws to clean them, remove debris they may have picked up outside, scratch a little, or even out of boredom. She'd woken up to do it, so I don't think it's boredom.
Every course of action has its risks.
I wish I grew up with dogs and I could just know or be confident, you know. Because every animal's different, and if you read something that says, oh, if your cat is doing this, it means this. But I'm relatively good at knowing if that's true or not. Because like different cats may do different things and they'll mean different things and that kind of thing. But with and she's a new dog as well, so I mean I'm not gonna know yet. We've got to have time to get used to each other because we've only known each other for a week, haven't we? Oh, bless you.
We should prepare while we can, then make a preemptive strike against the enemy.
She's really going for it though. Lolly, can I have a look at your paw? Lollipop, for a lollipop. Can I have a look at your paw, please? Can I have a look? Is there something up with it? No? Oh, good girl. Oh, you're just having a wash. I apologise. She's just having a wash. I'm sorry, Lolly. I'm sorry, I got nervous. I'm sorry, baby. You can carry on having a wash. I'm sorry. I apologise for disturbing you.
Let's take a moment to rest and plan our next move.
I'm so sorry. Okay. Alright. Artifacts. Wanna watch, Lolly? Wanna watch me fight these things? Wanna judge me harshly for being crap and killing 2 people last time? See, because my reaction times are so bad that I understand that when there's a red circle on the floor, it means they're going to run. But by the time I have like processed that, they're already on me. I need Bennett. I have Bennett. I just don't have him built yet. But I hear that he's good at dodging things. Ah, why aren't you running? And sometimes when being on my phone, I'm touching the wrong part of the screen and I think I'm making them run, but I'm really not. I'm just turning the camera instead. See what I mean? Oh, I'm sorry, Lolly. That was me talking to the game. I apologise. I'm not hurt. Don't worry, sweetie. Thank you for checking on me, though. You're a good girl. See, that's such a good reaction that I'm making a sound that could be construed as like pain sounds. I'm not saying that she understands the concept of, oh, is she hurting? But like, I was making a noise, so she came to check on me. Bless her. Bless you, little consogs. I have one resin left. Okay, how long have I been going for? An hour and 20 minutes. Fair enough. And my voice is definitely doing right, yeah? It definitely is. Okay. I need the loo. I don't have a be right back screen. What happens if
Everything's in place and they've taken the bait. Yes. Now to start reeling them in. Ah. I'm sure I've forgotten something. Not to worry, I'll simply send someone to fetch it. As soon as I remember what it was. Ah. Everything's in place and they've taken the bait. Yes. Now to start reeling them in. Ah. sure I've forgotten something. Not to worry, I'll simply send someone to fetch it. As soon as I remember what it was. Ah. Ah. Everything's in place and they've taken the bait. Yes. Now to start reeling them in. Ah. I have to stifle a smile every time I remember the look on my retainers' faces when I informed them of my plans today. Panic-stricken, but unable to muster the courage to say anything in opposition. Yes, this was a fine idea. Ah. Everything's in place and they've taken the bait. Yes. Now to start reeling them in. Ah. I'm sure I've forgotten something. Not to worry, I'll simply send someone to fetch it. As soon as I remember what it was. Everything's in place and they've taken the bait. Yes. Now to start reeling them in. Ah. I have to stifle a smile every time I remember the look on my retainers' faces when I informed them of my plans today. Panic-stricken, but unable to muster the courage to say anything in opposition. Yes, this was a fine idea.
Good girl! Hello! Oh, I was not stuck on the loo. But it takes me a very long time to move. Right, shall we? I can't remember what we're doing anymore. What are we doing? Not that, we've done that already. Lollipop, do you remember what we were going to do next? Oh yeah, I want to check that. Since my phone is so hot again. Where is my fan? There it is. Do you want a fan, Lolly? Are you hot? Do you want one? Give me a second. Oh, you're facing the wrong way. I'll fan you in a minute. Yeah, there we go. Is that nice? Oh, it is nice, isn't it? What temperature is it right now? How hot is it? Where's my watch? I really should keep wearing my watch. It monitors my heart rate. So I don't want to. At least it's like a normal smartwatch thing. I don't have to act like it's medical equipment, because medical equipment is so depressing. You're right, Lollipop. Good girl. How do you... I've read that you can train your assistant dogs to remind you to take your meds. But how do you do that? I mean, I'm asking, the trainers are going to tell me, but like... Are dogs... Do they have like the inner clock thing? I forget the word. How is it only... It is not only 14 degrees. How on earth is it only 14 degrees? I'm sweltering. Anyway, that's an issue with fibromyalgia that's really been getting to me during this heat wave, is that you can't regulate your body temperature very well. So when you get hot, you really get hot, and when you get cold, you really get cold. Oh, thank you, Lolly. You fur a lollipop. Fur a lollipop home sleeny. You need a long British name. Artifacts. Probably bugger all, honestly. What do I need? HP percentage. Ooh. Geo damage bonus, not so lucky. Attack percentage. Attack percentage is more than it recommends, which is, I think, good. I mean, logic tells me that if something is more than the requirement, that means that it's better. HP percentage, can you get to 61% by level 20ing it? But there's no geo damage bonus, so I'll equip you for now. I'm not going to level you up yet. I don't want to commit. HP percentage, attack percentage. I don't know. I'm not good at telling if artifacts are good or not. I don't know. I mean, these aren't, I know that much. I don't have good luck with crit rate and crit damage. And if you need crit rate and crit damage, oh my god. But then, like, I'm not building him as a DPS, I'm building him as, like, a shield person, so is HP more important? I mean, these are, like, the recommendations, but I don't mean that's what I have to go with. I feel like going with prioritising HP and maybe Elemental Mastery should be the priority, I think. I still don't know if this is like, good, though, but I think I just want to give him all the ones that have good HP. I think that's my plan for now. Yeah. Which one does this really matter? Elemental Mastery. Why not? I'm not leveling anything up yet because I'm not committing yet, but I feel like I'm onto something. Right? I feel like I'm onto something. Shall I look it up? Where's my tablet gone? Let me do research on shielding Zhongli. Are you gonna help me, Lolly? Are you helping me level up Zhongli? Yeah?
The same as I remember.
Oh, I love talking to dogs. They always look at you as if they're really listening. Like, you're actually listening to what I'm telling you. You look like you're genuinely interested in what I'm saying to you, even though you don't understand me. Oh, bless you. Oh, you're the absolute best. You're the best girl. Oh yes, the sniff me watch. You've not seen that yet. Look at it. Yeah? Don't lick it. Don't. Lolly. Don't lick it. That's not how it works. I know it's touchscreen. Lick my watch, you weirdo.
Osmanthus wine
Oh,
tastes the
bless
same
you.
as I remember.
Zhongli
But where are those who share
shield
that
artifacts. Oh, what's up? What's up? I know you don't need the loot because you've just been. You've got water. What do you need? I wish I knew what you wanted. You have toys. Do you want to play? You want to play with something?
Osmanthus wine tastes the
Me
same
grab.
as I remember.
Grab a toy. Ow, 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 ow. I need to teach you to fetch things for me. That's like a huge part of why you're here. Mwah. Yes, these are for you. Don't stand on my things, please. Lolly. Oh. It's a new one. I played with this before, have you? I want to, like, I'm trying to sort of alternate. I don't want to give her all. I have 10 little rope toys for her. I don't want to give her all of them at once. Oh, yeah, you want to play, don't you? No. I don't want to give her all of them at once. I feel like, kind of giving her a few and then alternating is a good way to keep her entertained. Oh, that's what you wanted, isn't it? Good girl! Ah! Pull it! Took a more! Pull it! And a pull! No, that's slash and go, isn't it? Oh, do you just want to chew it while I hold it for you? Toby used to do that. He used to, whenever he was washing his tail, he used to... I mean, do we train dogs or do dogs train us, honestly? We used to have to hold his tail while he washed it. Is that what you wanted? You just want me to hold this toy while you chew on it? Is that what you're after? How do they instantly know that something's for them? Because she is not a chewer. And she doesn't grab hold of things. But then I grabbed this rope toy that she's never seen before and she immediately knew it was for her. Like, how do they know? How do you know? Right. Sub DPS knows. I don't know what's good for him. Ah! Lily! Attributes. Should I look up attributes?
Osmanthus wine tastes the
Oh,
same
he's a
as I
good
remember.
girl.
But where are those
Lily!
who share the memory?
Oh, oh, bless her. Yeah. Yay. Good girl. I don't know what I need. Because it's all good telling me, oh yes, get these artifacts, but like, what do I need them to do? HB flat HP energy recharge. Alright, yeah. Let's give them all the HP and energy recharge ones. That feels like it works. Lolly! Pull it! Good girl! Well done! I'm trying to teach her pull because she needs to learn to like help me pull my clothes off when I'm getting dressed. Because, you know, I have a wonderful relationship with my parents, but getting my dad to help me get changed is, you know, I want, it's independence. You know, I could ask my parents to pull my socks off, or I could ask my bestest friend in the whole wide world. Yes! Pull it! Pull it! Good girl! Well done! See how high you're making my voice go! Yeah! Oh, good girl. You're having fun with that. It's good physiotherapy, honestly. Actually, I bet that's good physio for my hands. It's like, pull a rope toy with a dog. Pull it! Pull! Can I teach you to help me with physiotherapy? Can I? Is that something I can do? Dig it! Yay! Well done! Ah! Pull it! Pull it! Pull! Good girl! Yes! Oh, you have fun with that. Okay, good girl. Precious little girl. Ah! Oh, you're the absolute best. Well done. Pull. Yay! You're doing it. Good girl. Good. Pull. Yeah. Well done. Clever girl. Oh, who's a good girl? Well done. Okay, should I level up some of these then? Should I? Is that okay? Yeah, what do you think, Lolly? What do you think, Fur? What does Fur Lollipop think? Why is it? Hang on. Lolly, what's up? Where you going? You just sit and play with that, that's fine. Well done. Fetch. Oh, you want to fetch it? Fetch! Good girl! Okay, so... I feel like I don't know. I don't want to do anything wrong on stream where people cannot see me because no one's here, but like, theoretically. What's a good one? I don't know if I'm actually ready to level him up yet. Do I need geo damage bonus if I'm not building him as like a DPS, if I'm only building him as like a shield character? Do I need damage bonus? So is this like a good one? Let's just enhance it and see what happens. I mean, you're always picking up new artifacts, aren't you? Really? Lily! Fetch! Well done. Good girl. Because obviously I don't know how to train a dog properly, but I'm getting so much help from charities that help for this, that owner train assistant dogs. Such a good girl. Apparently Labradoodles are very good service dogs. Assistance dogs. but it's hard to keep their attention. Isn't it, Lollipop? It's hard to keep your attention. Yeah. Oh, you're the best. You're the best. I'm going to take you out like midday or something, yeah? Take you downstairs and see the cats. Yeah, good girl. I don't know if this is a good artifact. I don't know. I'm not looking for a good build, I'm looking for a good enough build. I mean, I got far enough with others with not really knowing what I'm doing. Because, I don't know, I have more fun potentially doing things wrong than stressing about doing things perfectly. Because I am a perfectionist, and that is something that was ingrained in me as a small child. And it's something that I'm trying to get over, so it's trying things out and potentially making mistakes. What are you looking at, Lolly? Leave it. Good girl. Come here. Come on, Lollipop. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah, that's something that I'm trying to do, trying to get better at. And you can always buy artifacts level up things in the teapot. I don't think I'm going to get to the point that this needs me to be at, but I think it's alright. What are you looking for? You have got so much food. Really want to put you on like sachets because you don't seem to be getting on with the dry food very well. I want to try some sachets. I want to try it mixed up. I want me to mix up some sachets. Do you want me to mix up some sachets in your food? Is it a good idea to be like, because my brain goes, if I consistently talk to her, then she'll get used to focusing her attention on me, and then maybe I'll have a better go at keeping her attention, because Labradoodles are known for being distracted very easily, and that's not very good for an assistant dog. Well, she watches me when I talk to her, so maybe that is a good thing to do, I don't know. Or maybe I'm just very lonely and like talking to my dog. Oh. Yeah, is that, see, it's not fully what it wants it to be, but it's close enough. I don't know. I'll be fine. My friend said to aim for him to be like 40,000 HP, and having leveled up 1 HP, artifact, I feel like I'm doing fine. You have a beginner's protector though. What should I give you? What should I give him? What's a good thing for him? He's Zhongli. I don't want to give him like a low level thing. What's up, Lolly? Do you need something? What's up? What's up, Lolly? What do you need? I wish I knew. Come here. Do it. Yay! Well done. Well done. Good girl. Good girl. You went out. What time did you go out? You went out 2 hours ago, and you did both things. So can't be that again, can it? Or are you just moving about because that's what dogs do? I don't know, I'm so nervous about doing something wrong. Yeah, what should I give you? I think my friend recommended just a black tassel. And I already have one that's very leveled up because I used it for jangling for a bit. I think that's fine for now. Can I enhance it anymore? No, I can't. No. I think that's fine. Rank 5, level 80, black tassel. That's alright, isn't it? Because, yeah, his attack and his defense is not great compared to some of the other characters I'm playing, but also my friend kind of recommended just building up his HP. HP and elemental stuff, so recharge. Do I have a good elemental recharge one? Elemental mastery. Do I have a good recharge one? Elemental recharge. You don't need like all 5 of the same artifacts, do you? So I can use a different one. What else is recommended to me? Is it that? You have recharge. I think I'll use you. I think that's a good idea. I have 1 piece Noblesse Oblige and 4-part nope. Stop it, go away. And 4-part Tenacity of the Millilith. I think that's fine. 4-piece set. When an elemental skill hits an opponent, the attack of all nearby party members is increased by 20%, and their shield strength is increased by 30% for 3 seconds. That, yeah, okay. And this is just there. But I think I need more elemental recharge. Let me level you up, then. Or should I just sacrifice some more resin and give it another go? Should I? Because I'm not all that satisfied with any of the others that I have. Or should I wait? I don't know if it's worth sacrificing some resin for. Especially when I'm doing it on my own and I have no clue what I'm doing. Can I buy any more artifacts leveling up things in the teapot yet? Because I don't actually have many left. Also, what do we do with where do we spend the Denjo sigil things? Is there gonna be like a oh, something else? Like, you know, the tree in Inazuma, are we gonna have something like that? Or I don't know, I'm not that far in Sumeru yet, and I don't want to explore if I don't seem able to have sound. Can I have sound? Did I just turn sound off because I thought that's what the problem was? And then I had ooh, interesting. And then I realised that my mic was actually on mute, and then I didn't put my headphones back on. Is that what I did? Yeah, and then my game might actually just be muted, because that's going to be so boring. You're just going to be listening to me. My goodness. No, this is what I'm doing, is it? Although, okay, you can have a layer. Hello. I do not have many things. Okay, first. I don't know what I'm talking about. I need to work on my teapot. That's it. I need to work on my teapot. Okay, now should I buy something? I have in the original setting, because you don't lose things, do you? I did a lot of work, but then I realised I wanted to change the scenery, and I should have done it ages ago. That's still not where I wanted to go. Realm Depot. I need more heroes. Wait, how much is that going to cost me? All that for 10 though. I don't know if that's worth it. I like buying these. I'll come back for more. Yes, so, what should we do? How long have we been going for? Almost 2 hours. Is that long enough? No one's gonna actually listen to me for this long. I think I'm gonna end it here. I think this is a good place. We have achieved bugger all. So yeah, let's end it here and see if you could actually hear a single bloody word that I was saying, or if I was just talking to myself. I wasn't talking to myself, I was talking to for a lollipop. Yeah, bye bye.